All right, cool. Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Libatike. Born and raised in Jersey City. I am a gay Filipino man, and for some reason, I don't say that often. I think that uh, it it's limiting to say, but I feel like saying something like it's limiting to say is really pretentious. So there are a lot of levels to identity, and it's always going to be something to navigate. But for the purpose of this video, I'd love to tell you my story. I have been out, I guess, since I'm 26, going on 27. I've been officially out to people who matter to me since senior year of college. Before that, I was this ultra religious guy who, knew that, if as long as I live my life okay, then everything would be okay. But then one day I got really drunk with a friend of mine at a dorm party at Rutgers, and then another guy named, actually, another guy named, insert name here. um, he started aggressively making out with me in the middle of everybody, and then I was like, okay, this is enjoyable, and then I started doing it with other guys.
Will you tell that again?
Yeah.
You don't have to use a name.
Yeah, sure.
Don't use a fake
Um, I was at this dorm party at Rutgers, and I started just randomly making out with guys who were friends of mine, who were not also officially out, and then everybody around us was just like, that was bound to happen at any point, and so that was the official out moment. But there have been, before that, many, many inwardly gay moments that I would never had dared call gay moments. Growing up, every American male child is in love with Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. But then, after Mighty Morphin and then Zeo and then Turbo, Power Rangers in Space comes along, Andros, the Red Ranger, appears, and all of a sudden I'm just like, whoa, I have to write this down in my journal. Andros is very, very handsome, and I want to be like him, but I don't know to what capacity that is. Um, um, and so that was my first, I guess, crush. That Johnny Bravo. I identified with the Blue Ranger from Mighty Morphin, the original one, and then come to find out 3 years ago he was actually a gay man. I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. So little cultural, indices throughout my childhood led me to where I am today, and it took a lot of soul searching for me to realize that. And these are fun little stories I like telling people when we talk about identity and things like that. But that's one aspect of it. Another aspect is just my relationship with religion and all that. Most Filipino American kids grow up in the Catholic Church, and that can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. For me, it meant that I actually really love it. I love ritual. I love the idea that you're connected to things that are thousands of years old. And as a Filipino American, that is found in the Catholic Church. And so, I grew up thinking, okay, this must be it. This must be, the best way to live one's life. And so I ascribed myself to its tenets, the way any good Muslim or any good Buddhist or Jewish person would do. And then I never really thought it was in disalignment with my own identity until I realized that my own desires and my own, my own struggles are valid. Now I'm at this place these days where I wouldn't dare be angry at anyone who has a religious background or has religious beliefs for feeling a way about what I do or who I am, because I get it. I see the beauty in the lifestyle they lead, and I still go to church every Sunday, if nothing but for the bookends that it gives, the rhythm that it gives my life. Let me tell you about my coming out story with my parents. Okay, I currently live with my husband to be, Darnell. a black man who was 4 inches taller than me. And we met. When people ask me how we met, I used to say, oh, we met at an editor's conference because he worked at a publishing company and I used to be a copy editor. But now I'm really honest and I say that he hit me up while I was on Grindr at church. And so, God. And that was 4 years ago, and now we're engaged and we live in Astoria in an apartment with our 2 cats, Gohan and Asami. It's kind of where I never expected my life to be. 3.5 years ago, when I realized that this was the moment that I should, come out to my parents, I got really drunk one night by myself, and then I threw myself on top of my mom's bed while she was asleep, and I started sobbing, and I'm just like, Mom, wake up. And she's like, why are you crying? Jesus Christ. And I'm like, you know that tall black man that I keep bringing around to the house, and he keeps feeding Dad chicken and amazing soul food and buying really expensive bottles of liquor for? And she's like, yeah, what about him? I was like, I'm in love with him. And then she goes, that's okay. There's these 2 guys at work, Paul and Tony, and they go on vacations together a lot, and nobody's bothered by that. It'll be like that. And after like another half hour of crying, I was like, okay, so you're cool with this? And she's like, if you stop fucking crying, yeah, I'll be. And that was me coming out to my mom. And that was the beginning of a summer. And then after that, it's been 4.5 years. I've never really officially come out to my father. But throughout the years, especially in the first year of me being with Darnell, he made an effort to kind of make it obvious that he understood. And, more recently it's not just understanding, but it's being okay. He would be talking to his friends, and my mom would overhear, and he would be saying things like, sometimes you just gotta let your kids do what they want, right? And then my mom would report that to me, and she'd be like, hey, your dad just said this while he was crazy drunk the other night. And I'd be like, are you saying that you think that's a sign of acceptance? She's like, I don't know, but I'm just reporting. I'm like, okay, all right. And so it's just been little things like that over the past 4.5 years. Earlier this year, we were all out to lunch, me, my dad, my sister, Darnell, my roommate Darnell, and he was talking about going to the Philippines to celebrate Christmas this winter, which is probably not happening, but he was talking about it, and he's just like, all right, Darnell, what's your schedule? Are you gonna plan on coming? And Darnell would be like, oh, no, but thank you. And so in terms of signs of acceptance, it's especially if you come from a culture where more things are unsaid than said. The onus is on you to kind of identify them. If this video existed when I was a kid, and I was looking at me from 10 years in the future, I would say, iron that fucking shirt. Get to things on time better. You didn't have to apply to Baruch if you didn't want to. But also, you're going to hear a lot of people say things like, take your time, be comfortable where you're at, and then you're going to listen to that and be like, yeah, all right, okay, I still feel like shit, at some points, or I still feel like this isn't exactly ideal. And that's not going to change, ever. But you're going to realize that that's universal. It's true for every queer person. It's true for every minority in any sense. That's why we are the way we are. We're a result of all of that anxiety, right? and it's gonna take some time to be comfortable in that and find little moments of pride in being able to say that you've experienced those things, and you know, acknowledge that. It's going to take some time for you to understand that there are people in your life you can lean on to when you feel a certain way about your identity that aren't necessarily the people that you yourself think are the most important. And you know, consequently, those people are going to become important. It's very complicated what I just said, I think, but you're going to get it, little Mark, and then you're going to start doing a lot of push-ups, and then they're going to suck less. Just keep doing it, and keep the arms closer to the center of your chest like this. All right, not like this. That's really inefficient. Okay, you got this.